I'm filming from the side, I'll have my mirror over here so that you guys see my good side and not the side where my tooth sticks out. And I just realized I don't have to do that anymore. Welcome to another Catch Up with Kay video where we chat and do makeup. I asked you guys in my veneer video if you guys had any questions that you wanted me to answer, and we have a ton. So that's what we're gonna go through today. So they are clip-on veneers. They just clip on your actual teeth. Super easy to pop in and out. And even though they're super easy to pop in and out, like they don't move. Like they're tight enough that they do stay on your teeth. I've not had any issue of them like moving in my mouth. Basic detail, the company is Brighter Image Lab. I will have them tagged in all of the videos that I talk about it. And then I also have a link. You guys know where to find it. You can get on their website and it will show you pricing and what each set of veneers include. So they have 3 different kinds of veneers. They have the press-ons, which start around $7.95. Then they have the Bill veneers, and then they have the Incredible veneers, which are the ones that I have. Under each set of veneers, like whichever ones you pick, it will tell you what it includes, the details. They do offer financing, and Bill is more than open to communicating with you and finding a reasonable payment plan that works for you and your budget. Anybody that's interested, I highly recommend checking out Brighter Image Lab's YouTube, because Bill gets on there and he explains so much in his videos. Like, I'm that person that if I can research the answer, I try to do that before I ask. And I learned so much from his YouTube videos. So for the process, they will send you an impressions kit to your home. You're gonna do it. You can call in and have them help you over the phone. They also send you a video to your email, anything to just help you get your impressions right. And then they will 3D print your smile, and then they'll work on your veneers and shaping them and detailing them. And they will also email you when your veneers reach each step. Once they start the 3D printing, they'll email you, let you know. Once they start working on your actual veneers, they'll email you, let you know. Like, I was not kidding when I said this team is amazing. I do want to give a personal shout out though to Michelle, Ruben, and Bill. So you can check out the link on my page. It'll take you to the website. I got the natural white, and they're pretty white. I mean, they're so beautiful. I'm just so in love. The very first thing I do in the morning after I brush my teeth, I pop them in, and I wear them until I close my eyes at night. I have never smiled in pictures so much in my life. Also, before I forget, I do have a code with them. I'll pop it up here on the screen, and you will get 20% off your order if you use my code. You don't have to, but you are more than welcome to, and it'll save you some money. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. I think I answered everything. And also, you guys can ask them. Like I said, they're super responsive, and they want you to ask questions so that you're aware of everything. I'm obsessed. Like, I truly am obsessed. It's life-changing. And I really hope those of you who are super interested check this out and give it a go, because it is, I can't even put it to words. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you again in the next CUWC. Bye guys.
Hey, what's up, BIL? All the way from Houston, Texas. It's a super day of your favorite realtor. Hey, man, cannot stress enough. Check. My smile is not terrible. I smile big, regardless, but I had to have one of my teeth removed. That one on that side. I mean, not a huge deal, but still a deal nonetheless. And, you know, I wanted something there. So, guys, check this out. Got me some veneers, bottoms, you go at the top. Yo, and I think the one thing that nobody talks about is the contouring. These things are contoured to look like teeth. They shine like teeth, they look like teeth. They're light in my mouth, very comfortable. And you know what I really realized? I scoured the internet before I purchased mine, looking for the right fit, like, you know, what I wanted. When people get them, they look so real that you don't want to tell anybody that they're not real. So I think a lot of the reviews like me who get them, and I'm like, yo, these look so nice. Like, yo. I think people just like, you know, I'm not gonna post any reviews about it because, you know, I don't want people to know. But yo, you gotta get you some. The fit, the finish, absolutely incredible. They did a phenomenal job designing, and you can tell it was custom made for me, which is very rare nowadays. So hey, I'm running out of time, but man, amazing job.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexis. I just wanted to give a quick little shout out / review for Brighter Image Lab on my veneers. I'm going to show you them up close and personal. So beautiful. Notice how my gum lines are absolutely flawless. Perfect, seamless, amazing. I'm going to take these out real quick just to show you guys what they look like without. Nothing too crazy, but my teeth are definitely really small, not as white as these. And my main concerns before getting these was I had a bunch of chips in my teeth, and I had to keep getting them filled in with composite bonding by my dentist, which is cheap alternative to veneers. And so they ended up telling me after them being chipped out that my only other option was veneers. Until my mom recommended me to Brighter Image, and she has actually been a loyal customer of theirs for the last 7 years and has had nothing but good things to say about them. And I can honestly say the same. From Bill being the creator and all the ladies that work customer service, they have been absolutely the best as far as working with me in this whole journey of mine. So I cannot thank them enough, and I am so much more confident with these in. I just absolutely love them. I've already gotten a couple compliments on them from the one day that I've been wearing them. But yeah, thank you guys all so much. If you don't have a pair, please go get yourself some right now. Bye guys.
Hey everyone, my name's Tate, and I'm gonna do my first YouTube video ever. I want to find, someone to make me some snap-on veneers, and I recalled Bill Watson and some of the videos I'd seen of him. He's the only CEO of any of these companies you see on YouTube like endorsing his product. I think that says a lot in itself. The guy is super passionate about what he does. I think he may be just a really good salesman, but I think he genuinely cares about his clients. Yeah, man, he kills it. Let me snap the Brighter Image Lab veneers in for you. I love these. Man, these are killer. I got the natural shade, and these are the Bill veneers, so they're like the middle model. This in total cost me, with the expedited shipping and extended warranty, it was close to $1,500. However, if you don't have that much money up front, they have 100% financing. If you want some veneers, you're not happy with your smile, they will get you a set of veneers. You just got to call them and figure out what you're going to do. They say it, 100% of people qualify. It is really worth it to pay an extra $400 to get this versus, the vampire teeth. It is night and day. It is night and day. Watch Bill Watson's videos on this. He's not lying. He is not lying. Brighter Image Lab has a quality product. They look like real veneers. The spacing between teeth, these are killer. The fit is awesome. When you first put them in, they might feel a little weird. Give it some time and they form better or something. I don't know how it works, but you wear them a little bit, they get super comfortable. Man, these are really comfortable. Brighter Image Labs, killer.
Hey guys, I think we're live. How's it going? Everybody, today when we get started, let me know where you're from and let me know about the weather where you're at. Today, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. It's about 71, 3 degrees, so the weather is absolutely perfect. More than you know, guys, I want to say humbly, I appreciate your time and I will try to give you good answers this week. I'm going to do the best I can to give you the best answers to things that aren't generic or on our website. So ask the hard questions when we get started. For a lot of you, if you don't know me, my name's Bill Watson and I'm a smile designer. And I've been with Brighter Image Lab for 25 years. I've been smiling and improving smiles since 1997 and since 2015, or I'm sorry, since 2009, I invented the first snap-on dental veneer that you can buy lab direct with no dentist visit. I'm the guy that created the fact that someone needed to have an alternative to going to a cosmetic dentist. And guys, I have nothing against good dentists, man. If there's a doctor out there and you think on a daily basis you alleviate pain or suffering, I think the world of you. And my hat's off to you. I'm not big on cosmetic dentistry and the state of cosmetic dentistry. I think that doctors have an altruistic relationship with society, and I think that they're unapproachable. And I think the reason why I'm in business today is because people need a choice. In 1997, when I got started, we really were a way to make teeth whitening more affordable. And that introduced me to a market that tells me wholeheartedly I had too many clients year after year after year trying to get their teeth whitened because they couldn't afford anything else. And even the fact of getting your teeth whitening, something simple, a very easy procedure, was almost impossible. Guys, I knew that when we created the teeth whitening system, that innovation wouldn't just stop with teeth whitening. Now today, we can receive an impression from anyone. And when we can receive that impression, we basically get to do for you the same thing we would do if a doctor sent it to us. But before we created these innovative systems, hey, what's up, guys? Let me see who I'm talking to. North Carolina's in the house. Uh, Alberta, Canada. Thank you. And it's cold there. Thank you, sir. Chicago is cold. Kentucky. I hope we're doing good in Kentucky. Junebug, man, you don't even know. I wish I could see you both ways. One of these days, you should be on the webcast with me. I think the world of you guys. If you don't know him, you should look him up and subscribe to him. He's a great guy. Let me see this. California, overcast and cold. I didn't know it got. Maybe it's Northern California. I don't know. Let me think. But where was I, guys? We have a giveaway. Last week was very successful for me, and it caught us by surprise. We didn't know that it would be as successful, and in a very positive way. We're appreciative and surprised. But I did say that I was going to give someone away, and I want this young lady. She sent a video. This lady worked in the dental industry and couldn't get the smile that she needed to the point where she would help people who were affording, who had the money to pay dentists to help improve their smiles. But she was forced to wear a mask at work because it's hard to give advice about how to take care of your smile when in the dental industry, it wasn't even affordable to her. Her story was compelling to me. It moved me. My staff was compelled to select her, and I'm very appreciative. Um, and so I just want you to know I'm going to show you who she is, and we're going. I think she's
So
already been
I
sent her
sent in the
system.
request.
I can't wait to show you her. I just can't wait to show you her results. I think we're going to work pretty closely with her to get something done. And I think when you
Because
later
even
we'll
though
show the
my
video, or we're going to show it now. You know what? Let me just play it right now. Let's see what she has to say. That I was able to give this away. This young lady, always tell people, I love what I do so much that I would do it for free if I can, and I'm going to do the best work I can for this young lady. I think the world of her. I thank her for being brave and showing us her story. I want to show you her story. So let's see what we got. Let's listen to it.
self and they So I sent in the request because even though I myself am a licensed dental assistant, not working as such anymore. So needless to say, there were doctors I worked with that I wouldn't trust to work on me. I started training myself on lab stuff for two reasons. One, because I didn't want to be chairside without responsibility anymore. And two, just simply out of need for the patients. We had no lab tech we were supposed to have. We were sending cases to other locations, which was slowing down delivery time for patients, which to me was unfair to them. It was very embarrassing as a DA also to have, missing teeth, cracked teeth, the stuff like that. So I wore my mask all the time and I got ridiculed for that, picked on by patients, but I always covered it up with, I'm looking out for their health. Actually it was my own embarrassment. So yeah. Thank you.
What's her name? Miss Sherry, thank you the world for sending me that. Believe me, anyone that's ever suffered from a bad smile knows that there's all sorts of emotion associated with having to explain something that's negative. And thank you for being brave. I think we're going to work well together, and I think you have a smile that we're going to be impressed. I will be so happy when the smile that you have is one of your strongest features instead of one that causes you pain. And I always tell people the bad thing about pain is when you take pain and you wrap it with shame of being embarrassed, that pain becomes whole different type of pain. So we're going to help you eliminate that, kid, in a really positive manner. I want to say hi to some people that are here. Miss Ewan, I think I want to say your name right. And I see Kayla's here, and Rose is here, and I see Paul's here. So, like I said, I saw June back in a minute. Thank you guys for just touching base with me today. But I really want to brag about this, being able to give this lady a new smile. I will tell you, if you don't do what you do, if you don't love what you do, you shouldn't do it, especially when I'm 57 years old. And I promise you, if I didn't love this, I wouldn't do it. Um, Wholeheartedly, I can't wait to see this young lady tell me that her smile is one of her finest features. And I want to get past that, but I just can't wait to do it. I'm excited about it. Guys, I want to talk about some of our challenging smiles. People last week, the response I got throughout the week is my smile's too challenging. Guys, I hate to tell you this, but there's not too many smiles that I can't do. I'm going to go through these real fast. But I want to just talk to you. When this young lady came to me and said, "Can you give me anything?" I will take anything more than, absolutely anything. And that she'd been turned down. And when we were able to give her a smile, this smile's probably not the best smile in the number one way I would like to design her smile, but I had a handicap on her existing smile, so I had to create something for her. Generally, when they're very challenging, we can always do something. We don't always get to do the most perfect work, but we can always do something. And that's one of the things that I don't think people realize. I did this smile for one of the most beautiful ladies you've ever met in your life. Literally, this kid is the most crazy, wonderful people that this planet. And she doesn't even know her. I don't think she realizes what a great spirit she is. I did this other young man who, this guy was from Texas, and his smile has held him. This next guy, let's go and bring him up. This guy is amazing. He said, "Listen, I'm just not ready for dentures," and I've shown some of these before, but I want to. When I see that this guy would be wearing dentures today, not even 40 years old, and when I see a smile like this, guys, people ask me. I had a lot of people last week email about gap teeth. And gap teeth are a challenge. Guys, let me tell you, we're really good at gap teeth. We do better gap teeth than I think anybody. When you look at her after models, that's what people look for. And this was a challenge that I don't think anyone could have done it. And the bad thing is he couldn't have done it for 1,000 or 1,500 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 or 6 or 7,000. And it's very challenging. And I'm very impressed with the results. Same thing with people who are thinking about going into dentures. A lot of people who are thinking about it going to dentures, I always tell them, if you're thinking about it, then you probably know enough to know that you're eventually going to be in dentures. But if I can save them 1 or 3 or 5 or 7 years, it's always worth the cost. And to be able to take this guy right here and to put him back into a smile where he has some form and function, uh, and gets the appearance of having a nice smile. I know this guy personally. I met him because he did some dirt work for me, and he had given up on his smile and given up on himself. And I've seen him over the last year. I think it's been a year and a half, 2 years. I've seen him lose weight. I've seen him dress better. I've seen him be fitter, and I've just truly seen him become a guy that had given up to a guy that was moving forward. But guys, listen, if we didn't have the innovation system that we have, if you don't know about the lab direct system with Bill Watson, then, or how we got started, you won't know a lot about what we do. But before I get too crazy, I want to show you something, guys. As you can see right now, I don't have a bad smile. I have, but you just can't see it. When I wear my veneer, and I don't know if you see this, but I have a polishing rag with our name on it. If you're one of my existing clients and you don't have that, um, you should ask for one, like Junebug or Kayla. I should send you these, guys, because I polish my veneer every day. I just sit here and polish it. And when I do, I also have a buffing pad. I don't know if you guys have seen, but we have some that we've had with our name put on them. And I use them all the time. And my veneer, this veneer is almost, I confirmed it yesterday. It's like 8 years old. I don't know if you can see it, but you can just see my smile better now. I can't see the camera, but I can just see this side of it. But I'm just telling you, with everything I can tell, when I don't wear them, um, they make a considerable difference, and people notice. I just have a smile that has a very long palate, and my smile makes a difference. So today, I want to tell you, if you don't have a polishing rag, you need to direct message us and have them send them out to you for free. I have a bunch of them, and I use them so much that I don't know how people make it without them. I have to get to another question, guys. People are asking me about my system, about what I think about my lab direct system. It's innovation. It's the 100% um, game changer is to have an impression system that you can depend on. And if you'll look at this, I'll tell you that my impression system, the way it's lab direct, no dentist visit, um, and to have a dental veneer that it produces where I can receive a quality impression on a system that I can send you in the mail. That's probably one of the most impressive um, things that I've seen truly change. It was one thing when we started doing teeth whitening in 97, but all the way up to 2009, nothing changed, guys. The impression system, no technology, nothing has gotten any better. When the same impression we use for teeth whitening, we're able to take that impression and scan that into the computer and build a dental veneer off of that. This has been a real big game changer for me. I don't know if you've used this at all, but when I could actually send you a system and then we're able to open up that system, and when we open it, you can open it up and it give you full instructions, and then you have a return envelope, and you have one for your top, one for your bottom, one to make a mistake, cheek retractors. There's just a lot of things that we have there. I'm going to get started today. I promised you that I would answer some of the hardest questions that I don't always get to answer. So let's jump on some hard ones. One of the things that people ask for me about the most is what's the difference between the press-on veneers, the bill veneers, and the Incredibles. And I always tell them the real difference is in the person. People who have a real manicured image and they want an ultra white smile, then they need to go with the Incredible, because I have to use more time, more strategy, and a more expensive material to make that Incredible veneer. and I have to spend time hand contouring it and creating what's called incisal margins, where you can truly make that tooth look like it glossed, like it's a diamond, and it's super shine. And that tooth is pigmented, and it has the right grooves inside what we call 4X contouring. And we put those in so that it reflects light. And when it's polished to look like diamonds, that that smile takes me a lot longer, and it takes a lot of hand holding to do that one. The bill veneer is a step down from that. We use a lot more computer with that. We do hand detailing, and we do make sure it has the 4X contouring. But the big thing is it's just not as thin. It's not as advanced. We don't try to compete with contact lenses. Um, it doesn't have the translucent ultra white. And then you have the POV. My POV is an entry level number. It's the best number I can actually make it these affordable at consistently. I want to explain it to you. Our computer does it. They're a little thicker because if I add a little bit of thickness, I can cut down on labor time, and they don't have to be, they're not handled as delicate in a more sensitive way that the computer does most of the work. And we polish them. They're all hand polished to a high shine. We just don't spend a lot of time hand detailing them. So people ask that, and that's a great question. So I want to send it. People always ask about the impression. If you'll follow the instructions, 85% of the time, people give us a usable impression. And when we get a usable impression, we do what's called model manipulation. We can improve that impression if there's some drag, or if there's a little bit of somewhere where it's um, we don't get good part of the impression didn't take or whatever. When I get usable impressions, 85% of the time, I'm going to build you an amazing veneer. If you always look at it as if you're building, you're supplying the impression, which is the foundation. We pour that foundation, and then we design on top of the impression you send us. So the better the impression, the better the veneer. The more perfect the impression, the more perfect the veneer. But I will tell you, when people ask me, they get afraid of it being too hard. You have 3 chances: one for your top, one for your bottom, one in case you make a mistake. But 90% of the time, if you buy top and bottom, we send you out 2 impression kits, and then you get 3 chances at your top, 3 chances at your bottom. And if you're watching the video and you spend any time investing into what the impression's trying to achieve by watching those videos, I think it'd be really hard to do 3 sets of your top and not get it right, and 3 tips of your bottom. I always tell people, if you're going to do top and bottom, do your bottom 3 times first, because it's an easier an impression, and then do the top, because then you do 3 tops, you've had experience. Um, we don't always get it right the first time, but it's almost impossible. And in some cases, it's worth another 150, somewhere around 100 to $200 to get a dentist office to help you with your impressions. They just take our impression kit to the local, whatever local dentist they use, and almost all the time, someone will help them with their impressions. I just know that's hard, and people don't want the added cost, but it's an option. Um, how do you, how do veneers stay in place? Guys, I can do a whole video on that. I need to do a better video on how we contour these around the anatomy of a tooth. But the anatomy of the tooth is not straight up and down. There's curvatures in the tooth that you can build locks onto. And because they're in different places, we could lock a lower part of the tooth and curve the top part of the tooth. And when that's pushed on, it actually creates a suction lock environment, and these things stay on. That's a big deal for me. The 4th question I got. Let me see. I see. Oh yeah, people ask me, what are your financing options? Guys, we have some of the best financing in the world. I always tell you that. One of the things that's made us successful at Brighter Image Lab is that we were able to get access to pretty strong financing at an early position. And that's carried us on because it helped a lot of people make commitments at a time when we weren't very big. And so financing is something I've always stayed with. And let me see what we got. What about, someone just asked a question, what about where a tooth's been missing for so long that the gums receded? Well, here's what's happened. I'm going to answer that question a couple ways. If, let's say over 40, under 40, maybe 45. Most people don't have a smile where their gum shows all the time. And so we do what's called a vertical dimension. We raise that vertical reach to where it actually is showing in the gum line. I mean, it does meet the gum line. It depends on how your smile shows, but almost all the time people don't smile so big that every part of their tooth shows. And so we still design it to meet the existing gum line. Under those situations, I just got to tell you, when that tooth, when that gum is rescinded real high, it depends on the person's smile. We have some different options on what we would do on that, but almost every time they're worried about their smile from the gum line down, and it almost always works. I can promise you, I haven't ever had anyone say this tooth is moved up into my gum and it's longer, but I don't like the design, and their general normal smile won't show it. It doesn't show a difference. I've had years and years and years to address that question, and I'll tell you, the designs we come with almost always are a solution that's I think creates very positive results. Boom. Do you have to send in before and after photos? Guys, this is important to me. It's kind of like asking, do you have to care about all your people? Or do you have to love all your kids? I'm going to show you this. These are a stack right here that I get all the time of before and after pictures. If I don't get the before pictures, I can't design. I have to see your eyes and the width of your cheeks. And I really want to know your midline. Like right here, I just need to know it. If I don't get pictures, I'm only going to design on your teeth. And that's a really bad measurement. I can tell a lot from just your teeth, but I can do so much with before pictures. We don't absolutely demand it, but I will tell you, when I get a picture, let me show you this right here. What did I say? What if your periodontals to some traits of gum disease? Have some, man. Let me tell you, if when it comes to gum disease and periodontal, I always tell you, one, if you have too much pain, you shouldn't try it, and you have too much mobility, you shouldn't try it. Over 50% of the people have some degree of decay or some degree of periodontal. So with that, depending on how aggressive it is or what stages you're in, but if there's not movement or pain, you can always work around it. We as long as you can take an impression, we can address it. Some people just, well, not that they don't want to address the periodontal, they just don't want to do it now. And that's one of the things I look at. But I want you to look at this picture for a second. When I meet this guy and he sends me that picture, that's his before pictures. I don't know if that shows it real quick, but I can see a lot about his whole personality and where his smile is now versus the size of his overall structure. And if I didn't see this smile, I couldn't tell a little bit about how to straighten up his gum line or how to the gap between his teeth. I would have seen it in the impression, but I wouldn't have seen it overall as how it affects his face. Then to be able to give that result, you can't see these really, but I can't achieve a lot unless I know about the person. And I love it when my job starts every day where I get a picture and the guy tells me something about his smile. And when people point out their weaknesses, and I can see what they're doing, I guess I want to stop and say, when I'm designing for you. Like, you're a person to me. I wholeheartedly take that, pull that picture up. And a lot of times people will leave me a note and say, this is my old picture. I'd like to have this smile again. Or they'll say, tell me what happened. So I will tell you, it's not just me, my staff, they get emotionally connected to these um, pictures and paragraphs where one grade said, I got a wedding coming up. I'm going to meet someone for the first time. Um, something, I had an accident when I was a kid. Let me see. Oh, yeah. This guy says he was born with a cleft palate. Well, the product worked for me. I tell you, we need pictures. I would tell you, I always tell people, give me 2 pictures of your smile, and in 2 minutes, I'll tell you if I can help you. I know how the cleft palate works. I don't know what your gum line looks like with your teeth, but the answer is I've probably done more people with cleft palates than anyone that I know of. I consistently get them because I have such a wide range of ages and people who come to me. I am never really concerned about it. Um, the cleft palate, depending on where it's at and how severe it is, I can't tell you people I've done it where they didn't have surgery and then later have the surgery done and still keep wearing the veneer. So they fix it where the lip gets fixed. So I'm not concerned about the cleft palate. People ask me all the time, what happens if the veneer doesn't fit perfectly? I will tell you that perfect impression, perfect fit. If 99%, I don't want to say 99, but 95% of the time, if the impression doesn't, if the veneer doesn't fit 100% perfect, it always gets cured with retaking the impression. And people just don't understand everything about taking the impression matters. When you push it up and pull it down, the way you hold it, not having conversation, just being still for the 2 minutes it takes to take your impression is very important. But it's a matter of science. It's a scientific measurement. What we do is math. If your impression fits and it's a good impression, the veneer is going to fit. Let me see. I missed anything from anybody? Okay. There's always going to be a link in the box. Once you buy your system, you're going to receive emails. Thank you for your order, and this is what you do next. And they're going to give you a checklist of things to do and how to stay up to date in all your tracking and all the stages that it goes through. And we're going to ask you at that point, now's a great time to send your pictures. And a lot of times people take a little bit of different times to send their pictures in. Some people will do it the day they place the order. Some people do it the day they receive the impression. Some people do it within a few days of that. I will tell you, the sooner you send in the impression, the faster we qualify the job. We will hold the job if you haven't sent pictures in, hoping that before we have to do it, you've been allowed the time that you need to send us the pictures. We do have some people who don't send them in, and we work around it. But I wholeheartedly think that you're hurting yourself. If you want me to give you my best, I'm asking you for a photograph. Boom. What other questions? Guys, I want to tell you, I'm looking at my own smile, and I just love it. I love the fact that it works well. What materials are the veneers made out of? Guys, they're made out of an acetyl resin. The acetyl resin was developed by NASA, and NASA used it for its strength and its thickness. It could be very thin and very strong. These veneers do not, you can't penetrate these veneers with a human bite. And that's why this material is so important. What if you have an overbite? Guys, it always depends on the person. There's again, give me 2 pictures of your teeth. I'll let you know in 2 minutes if we can address your smile with an overbite. I can't tell you how many people I know that have an overbite where we were able they're overbite. So they literally gives you the appearance that the teeth don't have overbite. You'll still have it. You can still open and close your mouth. We tried to, in my design, I try to build the arch, the upper arch out over the lower arch. It's too excessive. It's for our design process. It's the reason why we ask for an up close picture and one far away. And in some cases, we'll ask for more pictures. In that situation, we would ask for a side view picture. And a side view picture tells us a lot about whether or not we can protrude out or extend the top arch enough. And we just build it out, and it's really thick at first, but then you don't feel it, and it gives the appearance that the overbite's been corrected. We're not afraid of overbites at all. Let me tell you, can I use a flexible spending account? People, especially at the end of the year, they always say, I've got some expendable account that I can use. A lot of the times we can say yes to that. It all depends on your carrier or your employer on how they fund your flex account. If you have a funded flex account that has a Visa MasterCard logo on it, then in most cases, any vendor can take that. Some of them only have cards that can be taken through some insurance portal, and in those situations, we would have to turn those down. We don't take those. We don't. They're not accepted to us. In more cases than not, that we do. Can you wear a partial veneer over a post denture? Is that right? Yeah, guys. We always tell you that we don't like to go over existing dental work, but it's becoming so much of what we do that we just do it. Now you're going to have two foreign objects in your mouth, and it feels weird rubbing a veneer over a porcelain veneer, but we do it. I think you have to decide how it's going to feel for you. We have the ability to do the design. We have some successful cases, a ton of successful cases, but you're always taking a risk when you go over existing dental work. I hope I've answered that question. Guys, I want to spend some time talking to you about gap teeth, just because I promised some people this week I would talk about it. I want to show you some different gap teeth that we've done. This is a lady that I think the world of. She did not want to get rid of her gap tooth, but she wanted to see what she would look like without one. When you get 24 years old and you've had a gap teeth your whole life, then you tend to want to go, I just wish I could go out and see what my reaction would be if I didn't have it. And this is a perfect smile. This lady's amazing, beautiful. She was way beautiful before I ever made her a smile. But to see her smile change instantly, and this same lady really felt self-conscious about her smile, thought that, her smile never let her grow up. And if it's holding you back, whether it's bad or just kind of bad, or even something, just one thing, anything that affects your self-esteem or your confidence, we were able to get that changed for this young lady. And the same way with this lady. This lady was just appalled. She literally was desperate when I talked to her. She was going to nursing school and was embarrassed by her smile to the point that it caused her embarrassment. And we were able to get that fixed. And this was, I guess this has been probably 3, 4, 5 years now. But the results were amazing. This young man out of the UK, he works for the airlines, and he's is a flight attendant. And we constantly hear from him about how many compliments he gets on how amazingly white, bright, perfectly straight, all the time, every time smile. And people don't even know that his teeth are gapped. And this next one I want to show you. Just what I like about this is this could be anybody. Anybody you've ever seen that's got a really nice smile could be someone that had gap teeth or discolored teeth. He didn't know what his smile would look like. And it wasn't a really bad smile. It just had gaps in it. And so I always tell people you should at least know what your smile could look like. And the same way with this young lady, all the way from New Guinea. This girl was in the Fiji Islands. she said, listen, I want to see anything we can do. And anything else wouldn't have been an option for her. But she had an excessive gap. And for us to give her the appearance that that gaps went away, in her mind, it went away. It's like it doesn't ever bother her anymore. This man's a model and had gotten into acting and taken some parts. But when you have a perfect smile, I think they pay for themselves. And I want people to know that I truly think that this veneer should change your life enough that it creates more opportunity that financially they should pay for themselves. I think these smiles should be looked at is it doesn't matter what they cost as long as they always help you recover the cost in opportunity. And I think they do that. Um, I'm going to look at this smile right here. This is another guy that would be an average guy every day on the road. This young lady right here, you can see her at any parking lot, any school event, any PTA meeting. And in one day she has a gap teeth. That's a concern for her. And the next day the gap's gone. I actually met that lady live and she was a really nice person to me. And I never realized that something could have such a big effect. And this young lady's one of the top models in the world. I think she's amazing. She's beautiful. And I thought I was impressed that she could have chosen anybody. And I didn't realize that one gap tooth could affect someone so much. And I really think that her small gap um, makes her unique. But I'm super glad that she chose me. And what I like is that we able to get her qualified for some um, modeling positions that require people to be very manicured and very detailed and every feature be perfect. I did want to say hello to Kimberly and to Candace. And I wanted to say hello to VB King. So I hope I'm answering your questions. If you have any, please let me know. Um, let me play this video of this lady putting these in and out. This was a big deal. Uh-oh, it didn't come up. Oh, okay, let's look at it. People always ask me how do I design it, and what I do is I do a wireframe, and we have all sorts of math measurements made to us to where we can look at. We deal with millimeters, and we start looking at what are possible consequences if we overextend or underextend, or we raise the vertical dimension. And then we factor in how do we get the contouring and how do we get some certain reflections put in there. And that's why they're never straight and they're never flat. And so I wanted to show that because people just don't know how we can do it. But I will tell you, your eye is very easily manipulated into believing that uh, the size of the tooth that we give you is your natural size. So, boom. Mine are being worked on now, so I'm pretty excited about it. Thank you, Candace. I hope I'm going to look it up. Um, Please, I hope you've sent in your pictures. I will do what I can. Candace, where are you from? Okay. Guys, let me talk to you. Because this week I had so much concerns about people saying their smile was too bad or they didn't think I could help them. I wanted to show some of my tough, challenging cases. Let's see what I'm seeing. Oh, you're from Georgia. Well, congratulations. If I had to pick one state, well, Georgia would be a big one. North Carolina is a big one too. I do a lot of work for the people in Georgia. Some of my best clients are from Georgia. I can tell you that though. Yeah, especially Atlanta. I literally have a lot of really good clients there, and I've been there a few times. So I'm always Atlanta is a big part of what we do. Um, Last week I got started asking some really hard questions about people didn't believe that I could do it, and that they needed more than pictures. They wanted me to address the misalignment. Let me back up one more time on the guy that you just saw. One more time. This young man, I say that he came to me and said, "I'm not ready for dentures, and the bill that I got was over 50,000. Can you do anything for me?" And to be able to say, he just wasn't ready to go into that kind of debt or that kind of pain. And I was glad to get past that. And every one of these smiles that you talk about, I just want you to know that we work on some very misaligned teeth that otherwise would have to have dentures or implants or some extractions and contouring. And nobody really thought that. And I always get upset. Nobody told them, let's take a chance and see what a non-invasive option would do for you, and if you can get used to that, and would that satisfy you with the end result? Would that be satisfaction to you? But when you look at these guys, I'd like you to take a second and imagine what happens if we didn't offer it to them. They would still have their old smile, or be thousands and thousands of dollars in debt and pain and drilling and billing. And I think they should have been at least afforded an option, at least a choice. And this is one of the big cases I see all the time. This next one coming up. This lady just deserves the after look. You got the before, you got the after. She deserved the after look without being forced to pay $10 or $1,000 more, 7,500, 10,000, 70. At some point, somebody besides an ad on the internet should have been able to educate this person and tell her you have another option. Because let's say she's 28 or 30, she would have made that choice at 24 or 22 or 23, and those years would have helped her. So I'm very pleased, and the misalignment would have been to the point where people would have told her she didn't have a choice. The one thing that I do at Brighter Image Lab is I give people a choice. I like what I did for this man, and he's just been a good client. But the after pictures speak for themselves. And the next couple are pretty much the same story. When it comes to challenging cases, guys, we specialize in them. And I think the reason why we specialize in misaligned teeth so much, when I first got started, that's the only people that would trust me. I really got started on doing really bad smiles that needed some time before they can afford a dentist. And this week, I want to talk to you about something that's different than before. I had a client that had one of the most challenging smiles you can imagine. And he came to me and trusted me to build him a new smile. Well, um, I don't know if you know it, but the average smile restoration, full smile restoration at dentist offices can cost people up to $60,000. And it shouldn't cost $60,000 to alleviate pain. And most of the time, what we do is give people an option of what they can do until they can get that money, until they can afford that full restoration. And this guy's a true example of cases that have been turned down by everybody and nobody gave him anything to do. They didn't give him any options. I designed him a full smile, and it's been almost a little more than 10 years. 10 years later, he calls me back, he still stays in contact with me and says, I have a video for you. I want to show you what you've done for me and the choices I get to make now. So let me play this video.
Hey, Brighter Image Lab. Hello, Bill Watson. This is my video testimonial. I want to thank you all for changing my life way back then when you all were just 2 years old. It took me like years to even find someone or anyone that can do things the way you could do it. The way how you all contoured everything to my gum line and make it look real natural and nice. Ever since I got my first set of veneers from Brighter Image Lab, my life literally went from the bottom all the way to the top. I went from yuck mouth to the mouth. It was amazing. And right now, this is proof that I have already paid for, went through a consultation, and the smile rebuilding process part was about $60K. It's a lot. I know cosmetic dentistry is not covered by any kind of insurance. If you all are looking for that quick fix, extremely affordable, new lease on life, Brighter Image Lab is the way to go. I'm telling you, from the horse's mouth. Holla at Brighter Image Lab. Bill Watson, Brighter Image Lab. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Man, I can't tell you how appreciative I am that he sent that in. 10 years ago, he couldn't afford 60,000. It took him 10 years to put his life and finances together to build up to where you had the money and the credit and the expendable income. But he couldn't live 10 years with a bad smile. And he didn't know. Not one person told him, I have an option that you can use as an alternative to having cosmetic dentistry done. He was fortunate enough to hear about an ad and knew me early enough before we'd done much marketing. And we were able to work with him on an ad on how having a nice smile can truly impact your life in a very positive way, and it can be done immediately. No pain, no drilling, no grilling. His smile was bad, and we made it to where no one knew. In his, within a couple months, everyone had forgotten that he'd actually had a bad smile, and he went 10 years building his credit, doing his savings, working, taking job, going to better jobs, doing what you do when you mature your life. And I am very pleased that we were able to give this guy a choice. Guys, I'm not real big on implants, and I do always say if you're going to get implants, go with a specialist. And it's usually it's periodontist, prosthodontist. But I'm glad that I was able to give him a choice. And if they eventually going to be in implants, the time to um, make a choice about an implant doctor is when um, you're not subject to time. And when you have a nice smile already, then you get to choose over time which doctor you want to go with. I want to talk to you about this smile because me and this lady work together. I've known her for years. I've seen her in every um, environment there is. And when I talk about people getting a bright white smile all the time, every time, no exceptions, I want to just show you. I see this lady in every environment. I've seen her at work. I've seen her when she's not at work. I've seen her with events. And one thing I will tell you is all the time, every time, no exceptions, she has a perfectly bright, amazing white smile. And I say all the time, every time, no exceptions. And that's one of the things that dental veneers do for you is they allow you to believe that once you improve your smile, that smile stays perfect. And over the years, we've ensured it. We used to be for people who just had bad smiles. Today, there's probably almost nobody we can't improve their smile. But when we do it, your smile's not just whiter for a little bit. These things stay perfectly bright. They don't stain. The material they're made out of is strong. They're perfectly pigmented to be as bright as white as they can possibly be with the right degree of translucency. And and the color and the shading is believable to the naked eye, to the point that nobody has a better, more natural, more translucent smile shading than we do. I wholly believe that it's probably the one thing that's made us to where I don't think anybody can catch us. I don't think there's a cosmetic dentist that has a more attractive dental veneer that's whiter, that has pigment that's believable to the naked eye as a natural tooth. These things are bright, they're perfect, they can be contoured, they don't have to have uniform thickness, and they're it's just amazing to me. Let me see. Do they stain from coffee or tea? Guys, no. Like I say, I'm going to show you this right now. When I take mine out and I have my polishing rag, it doesn't matter what I have. Nothing stains to these things. I can literally polish my tooth all the time, and it is always nothing stains it. They're non-porous, so you can't. I could literally drop this in a glass of wine for a week, and all I have to do is rinse it with hot water or put a foam cleaner on it. And if you don't have a foam cleaner, you should instant message me. If you're a client, I'll send you foam cleaner for free as well. But I just sit there and polish this thing, and it doesn't matter if I'm a smoker or not. It won't work. Do they stay perfectly white, guys? Oh, they do stay perfect. Oh yeah, Kayla actually wears them, so she knows. Yeah. So yeah, they will stay that way. If you take care of them and polish them, they stay that way. The only thing I don't want you to do is if you glaze them, you can't drink coffee because the glaze doesn't work consistently on temperatures over 100 degrees. So they'll be fine in your mouth at temperature rate, but once you get over 104, 105, then it becomes a challenge for the glazing. So boom. Let's see what we got next. What separates us from the rest? Guys, I will tell you that what separates for me is the material, the time, the design, the contouring. It's called 4X contouring. We don't just contour up and down. We actually make that tooth reflective on 4 different angles. We never use thermoform plastic. A lot of these guys take a piece of plastic and they melt it. And with that, they use a material that's absolutely the same material that's used for Coke bottle material. And they're generally trimmed with some hot knife or some blade. They trim to fit the gum line. And we don't do that. We use a CAD milling process, and we take a block and we cut out of that thing over 1 million passes. So anybody that has a vacuum form machine, these machines can be bought on eBay. They cost a couple $100. And they use a tooth colored vacuum formed piece of plastic. With that, they want to pass themselves off as a dental veneer. And really what it is a tooth cover that's been made like a bleaching tray, or they're made the same way that they make aligners. They're just colored. So it's one of the things I think if you look at it, is when you look up close, there's just no comparison. I haven't ever seen anyone that does what we do that competes with what we do at a high level. Even with the Snap-on veneers, they're made, the Snap-on Smile, the trademark guys, the ones that do it for dentists. Dentists don't know enough about smile design, in my opinion, to truly factor in all the things that they need to factor in. Their process just doesn't allow. I haven't seen their results to be anywhere close to what we put in. And it partially is because we get to know the client, we see the pictures, and we get to build at a very aggressive rate on how to make them thinner. The ones I've seen that come close from that are delivered through dentists still really don't compete with what I think our end result is. And I don't think the best of them, I don't think the best of what you could get from a dentist competes with what we would get at our entry level. And then I think when you add the bill veneer, we've just blown it away. And then when you get the incredible, those colors and that material and that detailing truly is designed to compete with the best and the finest cosmetic dentists in the country. And I hope I've made that clear. For a second, let me talk to you about my reps. I truly have the best team. Um, every once in a while, you get a chance to say something that's exceptional. If you were to ever meet any of the people that are on our phones in the parking lot, you would help them change a tire or be very kind to them. They're very nice, knowledgeable, neat people. And I love the kindness, and I love it when people are kind to them. And I know even when we have challenges and when things need to be adjusted or impressions need to be redone, those are sensitive conversations, and people are hopeful and they want things to go perfect all the time. But I literally have a very strong crew. If something happens to your discount code, all you have to do is notify somebody on our crew and they'll make it right for you. But it very rarely happens. It happened last week, so I wanted to extend it one more time. Guys, I also want to tell some people, I always tell people, people tell me all the time they can't afford it. They think it's too expensive. I will tell you, we will make a payment work for you if you're motivated to improve your smile. I always tell people there's almost nobody's smile that we can't improve, and there's almost nobody that we can't make a payment program work for. As long as they're willing to pay and able to pay some payment, I think we can work out a program that'll get these paid off over a period of time. I know the financing company. I have a lot of pull with those guys, and we work independently and we work separately. But I very rarely tell people that they can't get financed. I want to talk to you about the Afterpay and Affirm and PayPal. Guys, I've seen people go in and get deals with no interest, and they're able to achieve big discounts by working with these three firms. The other people come to me and say, "Oh, we offer the same thing," and I just haven't felt it necessary to bring them in because these three people get almost everybody approved. They have been for me. Now, I'll tell you another thing is there's some people who just can't get approved through anybody. And that's why I think it's really important for you to know more about it's called My Smile Company. And that, they literally have helped us on global funding from people all around the world. I think we financed someone in Africa the other day. all because they were able to show us that they had the means and they were willing to pay their payments over a long period of time. And somehow or another, they worked together. And my reps are super important, guys. They're amazing. And I don't say that because they work here. I just have gotten to know them. And personally, I see that not only do they try to serve the client, but we try to make sure we do more than serve the client. And part of the way we're able to do that is we don't have to tell anybody no. We almost always find a yes through this option of financing. If you were to get refused, or for some reason they wouldn't agree to finance you through one of the three competitive financing companies that we put on top, our fourth option almost always is going to get you a yes. And I know that's hard to think about, especially in advance, but it'll get you through help. Yeah, and I hear that all the time. They go, I would finance, but my credit is horrible. Listen, I will tell you, I'm being as honest as I can. I'm not talking about one person with bad credit. If 100 people came to me, I'd still tell you the same question. They have a system that they're able to ask and answer and verify, that they don't just go off your credit score. Like a lot of times it's how long you had your phone bill or how long have you had the same email. They're able to find you and know whether you're motivated. They're in the business. They know what they're doing. I am always able to get them to work with me, and we offer them concessions. If they don't get paid, then we take less payment or whatever. Um, there's some things that we do with My Smile Company that will get you approved with the worst credit. So I will tell you, don't let fear of credit make you afraid to apply for financing. All you really have to do is answer enough questions for them for they to believe that you're able to pay, like you earn enough to pay some payment, and that you're willing. And if you get that done, I think we can get you financed. Yeah. But with that, guys, this is the last. This is a chance we're going to close out here in a minute. I think we have a few more minutes left, but I hope I've answered your questions today. I appreciate everybody who's brought in. Is there, Bill? Do you own the financing company? Your name is on the LLC incorporated with. Do we own it? We don't fund all of our own. We don't do all of our own funding, but we are responsible for the funding and the company. We have a big say on some of the terms and conditions that we don't let the financing company apply to our people. So we use our contracts. So yeah, that's true. Any more questions, guys? I want to say hi to people again. If you were here last week and here this week, with everything in the world, I hope I've helped your time this week. And I hope that these pictures not being the same, the subjects not being identical, that it helped you. These were just some of the questions that helped me. And I hope that I was able to address some of the things from last week. What we got here? Oh yeah. If you've bought from Instant Smile before, guys, listen, if you've bought from them, we can't always do it. It depends on where we're at to offer those discounts on how full we are. But if you have, I will make that happen for you. Paul, I know that you're trying to get this thing done, and anything that I can offer you, any one of my reps can help you. I think one of my reps by the name of Morgan mentioned this case to me before. So if you bought from Instant Smile and you tell us your story, and I think we already have your pictures, Paul. So I would try to get you a discount. Oh yeah, listen, as soon as we can get you photos for the lady who won, then this week, I can't wait to get those up and showing. I think this lady's story, you got to remember, when a lady that works for a dentist office can't even improve her smile, how's somebody who works at a grocery store going to be able to improve their smile? And when Kayla called me and told me her problem, we took it personal. And that's a lady who needed help and was never around the dental industry. Can you imagine being in the dental industry and can't get help? So I thought this week that was somebody that needed to be chosen. And it wasn't really me. My staff had made that decision before I even saw the application. So I was glad to be a part of that, but I'm glad I have a staff that's caring enough and selected her. And I feel good about the process. I'm very happy with what's going on. Yeah. Ewan, thank you so much. All I can tell you is genuinely, I think you've been a fan of ours for a while. So thank you, the whole world. Thank you. You know, I don't, the last week, I don't have a lot of experience doing live streams, but I will tell you that I've had a lot of contact where people who are watching in the background um, felt positive or felt reassured to be able to take another step or ask me more questions or ask me to ask more questions. And I think the live streaming is going to be part of the future. And I think more people who try it, more companies who try it will benefit from it. Guys, I want to show you these last smiles. The reason why this is important to me is because every day, every month of every year, somebody I meet changes my life. And yeah, I think earlier on Junebug was on, and this year he's been a big influence on my life. And I think you look at Kayla and you look at a few other people that have come and gone. Every one of these are pictures that are a day in my life where I was somewhere in this country, New York, Florida. I was in what was Kayla's from Ohio. You know, I've been to some really amazing cities, and I've been to some cities that aren't so amazing. But I'm glad that I got to meet these people and see the work that I do truly help them in the future, and that I'm not going to be around when a lot of things happen for these people. But that smile is going to help them express themselves in a way that they're truly happy and they truly have joy and they really want to be part of the present. They want to be in the moment with a smile that doesn't have anything but a smile on it. No shame, no embarrassment. And I like people living their best life with their best smile. And I think that's why I do what I do. And I hope it shows. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you more than you know. If you have any questions, please share them with my staff. Ask me below directly and I'll get them addressed in the future. I don't know exactly what next week's going to be on. I think we have some different options, but I'll see you next week. I think we'll be back on the same time, Thursday at 4 o'clock. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, and remember, if you're an existing client, and you don't have our polishing clause, you got to get us to give you one. Just direct message. And if you don't have any foam and you're an existing client, send us a direct message for that. I want you to have our new foam. It's pretty cool. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you next week.